sister science to yoga. I'm sure you've heard it in Yoga Journal magazine or maybe in your yoga class. In different yoga mediums, people have said the word Ayurveda or dosha, and there's probably a little bit of a question or an engagement around it. What is Ayurveda? What exactly is Ayurveda? And so although we won't get into a big discussion about what Ayurveda is, I will talk to you a little bit about my favorite part of Ayurveda, which is the diet and the eating. Since Ayurveda is a 5-elemental science, we can further break these 5 elements down into 3 bodily humors. And we call these doshas. So the 3 doshas we use in Ayurveda are Vata, Pitta, and Kapha, and they're descriptors or ways that we can describe certain things. Each dosha is a certain combination of 2 elements out of the 5. And so the first dosha, Vata, is a combination of the elements of ether and air. And the second dosha, Pitta, is the combination of the elements of fire and water, but more like oil than water, sharp. And the third dosha, Kapha, is the combination of water and earth, cool water for that one. These 3 doshas are in all of us. We are all made up of different balances of them. Nobody has just one dosha or just 2 doshas. We all have all 3 in our body. And just like we have all 3 in our body, everything has all 3 doshas in its body. The 3 doshas also rule seasons. So in the late fall and early winter, Vata dosha rules. In the springtime, Kapha dosha rules. And in the summertime, Pitta dosha rules. One big lesson in Ayurveda is to treat with opposites. And this isn't a lesson that somebody made up. This is a lesson that we've learned from watching and observing Mother Nature. For example, the qualities of Vata dosha are dry, rough, mobile, hard, subtle, cold. All of these qualities start to show up in the winter months. The leaves fall off the trees, our skin gets drier, we might be a little itchier or hear cracking in our joints. Everything seems a little bit more mobile, like changes in the air. And so Mother Nature offers us the exact opposite of this in the bounty we collect for food. We have the heavier root vegetables or dried grains and dried fruits. If you eat meat or dairy, this is the time of year where you're more likely to be eating that stuff in larger quantities than any other time of the year. So we crave the opposite. We crave the heavier foods. And if we listen to our bodies and we eat them in the right proportions, not too much, not too little, then we can find balance. Then we enter the Kapha season, the springtime, and the qualities of Kapha dosha, which rule the springtime, are heavy, gross, wet, oily, stable. Mother Nature offers us the opposite of this in the harvest in the springtime. We start to see the leafy green vegetables and the more catabolic tastes in nature, so the berries, things that will detoxify our system. It's not a great time to be eating dairy or meat or grains or other heavy things, but more warm, light foods. You may crave lighter soups or steamed vegetable dishes in the springtime, things that will create less mucus around the body and less heaviness. This is brilliant because we've spent all winter long eating this heavy diet, and now this is nature's way of cleansing our system from all of those heavy foods. The temperatures are starting to rise. We don't need all of that padding anymore, so nature will help get rid of it for us. And then comes the summer. Summer days are longer, they're hotter. The qualities of Pitta dosha, which rules the summer, are hot, oily, fleshy smelling, subtle, soft. And Mother Nature offers us things to abate these kinds of qualities. So for example, the sweet taste predominates in the summer, like the fresh fruits. These are carbohydrates. They're very good for you sugars that can get you through the long days. And they have enough of the soluble fiber in them that They aren't like eating sugar. It's a different kind of sweet. Eating fresh fruit from nature is a different kind of reaction in the body than eating a tablespoon of raw sugar or any kind of sugar. We have the bitter leafy greens and other vegetables like this that can help cool the body down, and also the carbohydrates that can help keep our energy up. One main thing in Ayurveda that we can look at when we're talking about diet is that any processed food has no prana. We've also probably heard this word prana in yoga class or in the magazines we read, and it's sort of one of those things with a million definitions, but for what we're talking about right now, prana is life force. And when you take food farther and farther away from the source, it starts to die a little bit more every moment that it's gone. So things that are processed and cooked, overcooked, undercooked, frozen too much, or just completely manipulated scientifically are lacking prana. They don't offer our body any kind of life. So if you eat a diet that's full of things like this, like fast food or the processed scientific foods that are claiming to have lower fat, lower oil, then we may begin to lack vitality in ourselves. We may begin to lack that sense of prana. So Ayurveda invites you to start to listen to the melody of nature and harmonize your diet and harmonize your life around that. Listen to your body and what it's craving. Going into the markets, the local markets, and seeing what they're offering. What are the local farmers bringing up? What does your local CSA have to offer at this time? This is going to be the best way to balance your diet Ayurvedically. Generally speaking, eating any kind of whole food is going to be good for pretty much anyone. Keeping the food close to the source, well cooked, prepared with love, and eating with mindfulness will be paramount to your body taking the nutrition that it needs from the food. So pay attention to the qualities and the shifting of the seasons. Pay attention to what your body is craving, and know whether or not you're hungry or you're craving things for other reasons. When we start to eat mindfully, we can start to tap into that knowledge. My favorite thing to tell clients is to ask yourself two very important questions every single day. And those two questions are, how do I feel and what do I need? How do I feel in my physical body right now? Maybe tired or tense or excited or hungry. And what do I need? Rest or exercise, more food, more protein, less protein, fresh fruit, fresh vegetables. What is it that you need? So start to listen, start to pay attention, and learn a little bit more about Ayurveda and all of the beautiful tools that you actually already know. You just might need to be reminded of. Namaste.